everyone, this is MG Govia, host of Digging Deep. We're so glad you joined us today. Today's episode is the second of the Learning the Dirt with Luis series. Towards the end of today's episode, we did have some audio difficulties, but the content was too good to cut. Please be patient, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Digging Deep. I'm your host, MG Govia, Senior Education Outreach Liaison for OK1, and we're joined with our new and wonderful co-host, Luis Renon, our new bilingual education outreach liaison. I took care of saying the word liaison for you this week.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's if I can avoid to say it, that will save me a lot of effort.
Yeah, so we'll try to make it easy on you. For those who are new to our podcast or didn't see the first one, definitely check it out. We'll give you a good baseline of what we're doing with this new series. Luis is our new liaison, and so we're leaning into the fact that he's new, and we're going to learn together. Yeah, we're going to learn together and share our experiences as we go. We've had an exciting last couple of weeks, so we'll be talking about that and some other stuff. So, Luis, do you want to share a little bit more about our podcast and what we're doing with this series?
Yeah, just keep learning the OK11 process, promote awareness of how to dig safe and how to prevent damage. I'm still learning that curve. I think I'm getting better as days go by. We had our first presentation 2 days ago at Armor, and I had a good feeling about it. I know it's baby steps, like I call it, but the whole experience, seeing people's different backgrounds in one room, and just keep learning other stuff from even Randy from one Oklahoma Gas, and the other Randy is Snyder.
Yeah, Randy Snyder with OCC.
So it's good to keep refreshing those concepts and about the law and everything that has to do with the industry of excavation and damage prevention. So yeah, it was a pretty cool day.
Yeah, man, you did great. By the way, for your first presentation, we gave the disclaimer during the presentation. It was like, hey, this is our new guy. He's not only presenting stuff he's learning for the first time, he's presenting it in the second language. So I, again, think you did an outstanding job. The feedback that we received from the attendees was outstanding. And that was the beginning of it all. Last week, I wasn't very hands-on. I was up in Tulsa working with the Oklahoma Corporation Commission. They have these pipeline safety seminars annual or every 2 years. Great opportunity to remind our natural gas operators as well as our liquid operators their responsibilities when it comes to 811. It was fantastic. The group with OCC, you hosted a great conference. Appreciate the opportunity to represent OK11 up there and work with our members and those gas companies that are out there. So that week went really well, but I was coaching from Tulsa and it was difficult. I was impressed by just how much you gathered and was ready with that long distance coaching.
Yeah, no, it was funny because I had a few rehearsals with Haley, and I wasn't good. So she gave me a few tips, but they really worked. So I appreciate it, Haley. But then we had one last one before we left, which was very important. I'm glad that we had it. It was about white lining.
Yes.
Which it seems easy, but there's that's why you need to ask.
Yeah.
Because you can get confused.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's some similarities it's one of those things like when you're doing the translation of it, right? Probably the concept was pretty easy, but then trying to spit it back out was the complicated part. Because I remember us going back and forth about the word perimeter. One of the ways you can white line. One of the ways you can white line is the 3 P's of paint is what I call it, right? We talk about points, paths, and perimeters, and we were talking about perimeters, and we were just trying to grasp that concept. And I was like, they can go around or everything within. You're like, then what's a perimeter? And I'm like, good question.
Yeah, well, no, it was actually easier because the whole concept of white lining, the process of marking, like pre-marking for a proposed area of excavation. When it comes to like the three different types of lining, white lining.
There you go.
It was easier when you explain, hey, think about the single point. You putting a tree or a mailbox, and then you tell the locator how many feet from that of radius from that point. So that's when it helps. Every time you can explain a concept or a term, with the day-to-day life.
Yeah, like a good example. Yeah,
it makes it easy. I had a teacher back in Venezuela when I was in one of my marketing classes. Everything that he would explain, he would relate it to life examples, and that's just so much easier to understand.
And you'll get there. It's like, I don't know if you follow us on LinkedIn, you should. If you don't already, follow our page on LinkedIn. It's called Digging Deep. It's all about our podcast. And then you're more than welcome to follow us as the host and as individuals to help you out with all things 811. But yeah, just while we're in Ardmore, there is an opportunity for you to see the gas markings in Ardmore.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
To see these things and have those real life examples, because I can explain to you all day about, hey, they're going to put down yellow paint and flags, and that's where the gas is. But then we're walking to go figure out where to watch the Thunder game. And we see some gas being marked. And we're like, hey, this is what it is in real life. And so we had an opportunity to learn that a lot better.
Yeah, no, when I saw it, and it was so like clear and huge. It was a big land with a full path of
yellow paint.
Flags. Like, okay, this is where the gas is.
And it ended right there at the gas meter of that restaurant.
Which we didn't have. We're not going to name that name of the restaurant, but
you have to go find it.
You have to go find it. Well, we had a really bad experience. To the point that I wasn't planning to watch the first half of the Thunder game against Minnesota, the first game. And we ended up watching the whole first half because the food took 2 hours to get it. So, yeah.
Well,
but that's for another episode.
Yeah, that's another episode. We could have an episode about the poor experience, but that wasn't the big thing. We had a great time in Ardmore other than that.
So, no, again, seeing examples in real life of things like this, like, the flags or even a big pipe.
Yeah.
It just gives you a better idea of how things actually work.
Yeah. And you got to see more of this safety day than ever before, because in the beginning, we're still in the training phase and we weren't able to get a full day of safety day in front of you. But this one, you got to see everything that the OCC presented on. You got to see everything that our training partner, Jason Bullard with Anderson Safety.
Super nice guy.
We did work on excavation, intrusion safety, and confined spaces. So let's talk about the other things you learned, not just what we teach, but also what you learned from the other presenters. Like Oklahoma Corporation Commission, what were some big takeaways for you during their presentation?
Oh, that if you don't follow the law, go out to... No, it's just more about... One of the things that Randy makes a big highlight is communication. The communication, especially when you're working near regular pipeline, you have to be in contact with that operator representative just to make sure that if you're going to meet on a specific time or day, because that determines pretty much if your project is going to be
on time.
Yeah. So it's very crucial to document every little thing that you do, because that's when we talk about liability. It starts from there. From that very first moment of communication.
Yeah, exactly. The more communicative you are, the more that you put into it, the less surprises that you're going to run into. When a operator says that they need watch and protect, they're going to respond to your locate request saying, hey, I need to be on site because you're digging within 10 feet of my markings. When you're going to do that, give me a call so we can be there. It's huge. And then you need to not only take the pictures of the markings, you also need to make that agreement both ways. It can't be just one or the other. If Oklahoma Natural Gas wants to do a watch and protect, that excavator needs to contact and make arrangements to be on that site at the right time. And that is something that is very particular, as you know, and our attendees know, that Oklahoma Corporation Commission's enforcement is just around regulated pipelines. So if that same situation was with electric or water or anything else, there isn't that enforcement, but the rules are still the same. There just isn't enforcement behind it. And so OCC's purpose is to say, hey, this is the way that the law affects you as an excavator if you're digging around regulated pipelines. And hey, regulated pipeline operators, here's the way the law works for your responsibilities as well. And so that's what I really like about their session. It brings this to, hey, this is more than just best practice. This is more than just a good suggestion. It's the law. There is reason behind all of it.
Yeah, and it's always, because again, I guess when you talk about law, there's a tendency of like get scared a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you probably have made a mistake in the past. But at the end of the day, they just want to protect you.
Yeah.
And to ensure safety to you and to the public, and eventually to the infrastructure, underground infrastructure. So you have to see it from that point of view, from that perspective. Like it's at the end of the day, it's about safety. That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
I was talking to the other Randy from Oklahoma, One Oklahoma Gas, and that's what we care about.
Yeah.
The pipe is going to be fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
The pipeline is going to be fixed.
Yeah, whatever utility we're protecting, it's going to be restored eventually. But what about that worker? What about that neighbor who went without heating and air in one of our hot summers or cold winters? Like, what are we doing there? So we need to realize that the utility factor, the damage prevention factor, it is a factor, but it's not the most important. We're more worried about the people than the things. People instead of the pipes, if you will. And that's one thing that we've talked about. If we have the passion and show our attendees that we care about their safety, and we're not up here trying to harp law and scare people with fines and regulations, we're just, hey, get some paint on the ground, dig safer out it, please.
And to be honest, it's so easy to avoid it because the process is easy. Like if you think about it, it is. I mean, this is my 8th week almost, and I already did first half of a presentation in English.
right.
And I have a pretty good understanding, and it's pretty straightforward. I think it's just about being proactive and responsible at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just, take the first step. Hey, I'm going to contact OK11. I'm going to ask the questions that I need to ask. I'm going to contact the operator. I'm going to make sure their locator is finding my location. Just do it. It doesn't take you too much time. Again, not doing all of this is just delays your work.
It can. It definitely can. And I understand excavators. You're out there trying to make money. You want to put
you want to in and out.
You want to get everything done. But we're not asking a lot. We're asking for 3 days for your safety. We're asking 3 days for your project to be done on time. 3 days so nothing gets damaged. And so hopefully this will get better and better. And our excavators' habits will improve, their behaviors, if you will. But like Randy with Oklahoma Corporation Commission says, if we've been enforcing this since the 80s when this law came into play, then people would already have these routines and habits. But instead, we're surprising people with the law that's been around for 40 years. OCC will show up on a work site and they're like, what do you mean you need to see my ticket number? And he's like, yeah, there's a law. And then people are like, yeah, but I didn't call them this time. I didn't know I had to every time. Like, and OCC's running into that. And heck, I run into it myself. I'll be like, do you know there's a law? They're like, nope, I just know you're on TV and there's commercials. Like, yeah. And so at least they do it, even though no responsibility behind it.
No, it's one of those things that, you just got to keep doing it and doing it until people see what we're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then after Randy finished up with OCC stuff, and there's more to share with you. We'll share more OCC highlights as we go. But then we went into the excavation and trenching safety by Jason Bullard, and I stayed around for that part. And then you joined Randy with One Gas or Oklahoma Natural Gas to do the emergency response class. You and Randy learned a little bit as well, or you learned a little bit from Randy?
Well, I asked, I'm like a little kid. I asked a ton of questions.
Yeah.
But mainly, I was just fascinating how sophisticated the work of pipelines is.
Yeah.
Like the way that they can detect if something happens to a pipeline across the state and across even the borders between Oklahoma and Texas. And the response to fix it, it amazed me. And he explained it, and I asked just a little off the specific topic, but it was just more like how pipelines have changed over the years, the material and all that. So I was like, wow, I didn't know. I'll tell you, I thought in my mind that it was always steel.
Yeah.
But, it has changed over the years. He even told me there was like even wood in the way. I go,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So they change it, and I was like, okay, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they have like PVC, and the distribution stuff will be pretty small. But then if something does happen to it, like what happens? And then obviously he works for One Gas. He was representing OPAL, the Oklahoma Pipeline Awareness Liaisons, who partner with us on every safety day. So if you are an emergency responder, it's a great opportunity for you to get in front of pipeline companies and understand the process a little bit better. And so they explain that. They're like, hey, if something gets hit, cops are being called, ambulances are coming, we're notified, we're coming. Somebody from dispatch or control center taking care of valves and all this stuff, and they're out there to rescue people. And so you went to the emergency response course. You talked with Randy. You learned quite a bit. We're going to start with that. Let's talk about the emergency response session. What all did you learn?
Just the way they work when it comes to having the firemen and closing an area. Randy said that it's all good when an emergency happens and you have the firemen closing a big area of work. But as soon as they leave, it sucks because then, let's say it's like near traffic or something, or a neighborhood or something. Then, you have to deal with people passing by. Yeah, the public. So it is good when it's like having them as, I don't know, as a protection.
Yeah, the buffer everybody away from you.
Yeah, but as soon as they're out, because as soon as there's no longer like a threat, and they can just fix whatever they're fixing, it's fine. But as soon as they leave, it's like, no, it's our biggest nightmare.
Yeah, no, they have a difficult job. The reason that emergency response training exists is because hopefully no emergencies will ever happen.
Yeah.
But you have to plan as though they might. And the crews that respond to these emergencies are volunteer fire departments, are full-time fire departments. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you so much in what you do when those accidents do happen, but they have to have that training. And if you are one of our volunteer fire people, or one of our ambulance, or anybody else who does first response or emergency response, look into our safety days. Oklahoma Pipeline Awareness Liaisons, they do a great job of explaining that. And there's also other programs out there as well. One of our sustaining members is called Paradigm. They also provide this training as well. So there's plenty of opportunities for you. If you don't already attend some trainings, reach out to just your local pipeline companies that are in your area and see who they partner with for their training and get signed up. A lot of these pipeline companies, their public awareness programs will take care of your fire stations, help you out with getting equipment or anything like that. So work on those partnerships if you don't already.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then after the emergency response, you got to come back.
Yeah, and then Jason was talking about confined spaces.
Yeah.
Which you think about confined and you think it's like it's at a place that you enter that is you're tight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not actually at all what it is.
Not necessarily. It could be so much more. It's dangerous. It's one way in, one way out. Usually not enough room for multiple people. So a lot of variables goes into that. And just being smart. And in Oklahoma, like in the excavation world, we have municipalities who are jumping in and out of manholes, taking care of sewer and water. And then we have other construction projects that also deal with getting in and out of confined spaces. So it's also great information to have. If our listeners don't know, we have credits available through the Department of Environmental Quality, DEQ credits. And the reason that we can get those credits is because of the curriculum between damage prevention, the excavation and trenching safety that Jason does, as well as the confined spaces. And that's 8 hours available. And most operators in Oklahoma only need 4. So we're doubling up what you need in just one day of training. So if you're in Ada or Altus or Tulsa or need DEQ credits for anything else, let us know. We'll put together the class and I'll reach out to DEQ and make it happen. But yeah, it's a great day.
Like I said, it was my first time. I did the first 6 modules from Oki to information to give and responsibilities. And again, when I was talking about the necessary information that you need to give to Oki 11 to make a location request, again, using a live example.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we're plumbers together.
Yeah. It was easy to understand. And to me, that was kind of the moment that I feel, you know what? As long as I keep it like interactive and I can, feel loose, it's easier to explain, especially in the second language.
Yeah. And I want to give a big shout out to our attendees in Ardmore. All of them. Yeah. We had people from City of Davis. We had people from Ardmore, of course. We had pipeline companies. I saw some county workers. There was a plumbing company that was there. I know of an HOA that showed up. So huge diversity of people who all care about 811. And then we did have rural water systems and municipalities who needed those DEQ credits. So big shout out for those who took the time to invest in themselves. Let your employers send you and you got to learn great information. You got free lunch. You got door prize opportunities. I believe every single person that attended left with something.
Yeah, I mean, we have plenty of hats from OK11 and ONG, and then plus the prices, the door prices. I mean, everybody left happy. I think.
I'm still jealous of whoever got that personal hand vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And like, I need one of those. So the safety day went really, really well. What was, just real quick, what was your like biggest takeaway from it? And then we'll kind of wrap up the safety day stuff.
The takeaway, I just, I kind of like how all the three presentations kind of like are connected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's always good to like understand one so you can do the other one better.
Yeah, exactly. Like you and I, we still stress and we will always remind people we don't dig for a living, right? We talk for a living.
Yeah.
And so it's good that we know what we're responsible for. Hey, we can explain the A11 process. We can tell you how these paving flats get out there. But once you put that shovel in your hand, I need you to listen to Jason, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we only teach you how to like prevent anything that could potentially happen to you.
Yeah.
But then you're responsible of how. And then when you have other two guys that are teaching you about how the law actually works, like straightforward, like because we kind of we talk about it, but we don't go really in depth. And then you have Jason who tells you, hey, this is real stuff that has happened when you don't know how to dig properly.
Yeah, he gives good examples of some trenches that have collapsed.
And it's sad, every time we talk about, unfortunately, you have to bring up those type of cases so you can, I guess, create attention to people. Yeah,
if people don't know the reality that trenches do collapse, or the reality that people do get in these holes that they don't belong in, they out of sight, out of mind. You don't worry about it, and then you fall into these.
Maybe we need to tell our audience when we talk about emergency. Yeah. Do you know that picture that we have of the trenching?
Yeah.
This is actually real.
No. That AI picture is too good. Nobody's gonna take a picture of a dude half covered up in dirt and be like, "Hey, smile."
People see like, is that real? No,
it can't be.
At least like what, maybe 10 slides.
Yeah, we use some AI to try to create some imagery. It's pretty fun. So yet another reason, come to one of our safety days, check out our AI graphics and let us laugh together. But although it is an exaggeration, it is still something that is real. People do, unfortunately, have accidents with trenches and digging all the time. So we have to give those real life examples. So I'm glad you enjoyed your first.
Again, thank you again to everybody here at OK11 for the support. You for taking the time to kind of coaching me on these couple of weeks of how to present, how to say things, the right information. I think that my biggest fear is like I'm saying something is off.
Yeah.
But as long as I can make the message clear and I'm giving the right information, I'll take it from there.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Again, passion over perfection. If I can feel, and your attendees can feel that you're passionate about their safety, we'll get perfection eventually. We'll get there. But if you are always passionate about them and showing that you care, then the answers will come together. Hey, you may have used this phrase where this phrase could have been better. That's okay.
Okay.
We'll do it better next time. So you're fine. So I was just thinking about how good you did. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate all the help. Appreciate all the help in rehearsing 30 minutes each slide.
Hey, have you seen this one?
No. So we met Elliot. Now we're meeting Williams.
Yeah. So apparently Williams isn't related to Elliot.
It's another friend.
It's a friend of us. Okay. Yeah. It's a friend of mine. I like companies with names, but while I was in Tulsa for the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, a gentleman named Josh, who works for Williams, and he goes, "Have you heard of Williams?" I'm like, "I'm OK11. Of course I've heard of Williams." If you don't know, Williams is a pipeline company. Obviously, that's why I'm at OCC's training. And Josh was hilarious, and he gave me this mug. He's like, "Take this back."
Mug,
I was like, "Hey, I have a podcast going on." He's like, "I have a mug." And so I want to thank Josh and Williams. Really good conversations. Williams damage prevention team and their public awareness team has been good partners of us over the years. And to my friends who watch Tulsa FC soccer, Williams is the name of the company that's it's on every Tulsa FC jersey. So, yeah, Williams is a company that a lot of people have heard of, and thanks for the mug. And if you or your company wants to be a part of our podcast, you can email us. Email us at education@ok11.org. Let us know. Let us know what mug you have, or if you want your mug on our podcast, just let us know, and we'll work with you to get that set up. And so it's been a busy 2 weeks.
I've been, just kind of hands-on. I was able to do a video of the 5 steps in Spanish, kind of started creating more content in Spanish. That's one of the reasons I'm here, is just to create that little world of Spanish content for OK11 so we can present it to Hispanic workers eventually. I've been doing that, working with you, working with Haley. So
yeah, and between that, we've been watching a lot of Thunder.
Yes, like I said earlier in the podcast, we watched the first half without eating at a restaurant in Armour. And again, I think I'm sticking with my prediction. The hardest team was the Nuggets.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed, they went to 7 games. Now Minnesota, I think they're just taking the Wolves for a walk.
I'm going to be at the watch party on Monday at Paycom, and it's an empty arena watch party, and that's how fanatic I am. So I'm going to go and sit in an empty arena and watch the game with some friends.
That'll be fun.
I do hope it's the sweep game, though. I really think.
Okay, so I have in my head, in my imagination, I think either is 4-2 or 4-1.
See, I
know Minnesota's going to win 1 game.
See, I thought if they were going to win one, it would be game 1. And since they didn't win that one, I don't think they can, because, Oklahoma City, that was the most tired we're going to be.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get us, that's when you're going to get us. Now we're cruising. We're winning by 20 both games.
Okay.
I don't know, just being in Minnesota is going to slow us down that much.
The Oklahoma City Thunder is going to win it all. So I'm glad to hear that we at least agree on that. How they get there, we'll let them play out the games, and that's why we'll keep watching.
Before you break ground, know what's underground. Whether you're new to the industry or just need a refresher, Oki 811 certification training has you covered. Get trained online at your own pace, or join us in person for hands-on learning that makes a difference. From safe digging laws to real-world locate scenarios, our courses help protect lives, property, and the infrastructure that keeps Oklahoma moving. Designed for excavators, contractors, and utility pros like you. Sign up today at oki811.org/training. Safe digging starts here.
So the last thing that's left for us, the 90-day quiz. The 90-day quiz. We are almost at, we're about halfway down in 90 days, right? We got 45 days yet?
I'll be 2 months in June 2nd.
So June 2nd is 60 days. So we're close to around 45 to start over that. So we're halfway done.
Yeah.
That's going pretty fast. Yeah. So the first quiz, we talked about the basics of the ticket. For those who haven't watched, go back and check it out. Listeners, this is where you can play along. See if you know things faster than Luis does. Today, or last week, we talked about the ticket. We talked about what 4 questions were always asked, and we went into detail about that. But now we're going to talk about the locating marks, right? We put in the ticket, and then the locators come out and put down their markings. So now we're going to talk about what all those colors mean, what to look for, and what happens. Okay, so let's start with this. Locator, listeners, here we go. Locators put down painted flags. How far from those painted flags can I find that underground facility? Where can I find that underground facility in relation to those painted flags? 2 feet? Exactly. You said that fast. Good job. It was like.
Pretty sure it's 2 feet from the distance of the mark.
Exactly. So whatever color is down, within 2 feet either side of it, you'll dig down and you'll find that facility. So we use 24 inches either side. 2 feet, 24 inches, either way, dig down. You should find your utility there, or the facility there. And if you don't, please give us a second notice. Call us, let us know that you can't find it, we'll send that operator back out to you to help you find with the second
Taking all this in.
Yeah. So now we know how to find it when the markings are down, but what are we looking for? So let's start with, we already talked about the white lining. There's the proposed excavation area. These are all part of the APWA, the American Public Works Authority, or Public Works Association, that put together this color code. And so white is for pre-excavation markings that help the excavator tell the locator where it's going to take place. Then there's pink. You remember what pink is used for? This one's a tricky one because it's not one of the utilities.
Sorbet.
Exactly. Yeah. So pink is going to be for.
So is that used a lot?
It is. It is. So we have a ticket type called the design survey request, and they'll often say, "Yeah, we're going to be doing the design work. Look for pink ribbons," because the surveyor work, they use those pink ribbons for their.
Those are really for big projects, right?
Exactly.
How that ticket lasts 30 days? Is that correct?
A design survey.
30 days, but it's a non-excavation ticket.
Right.
It's just for
Planning,
design, mapping,
engineering, architecture, all those.
Just to refresh, can they still mark?
Yeah, they can request markings as well. Usually that's towards the closer to when the excavation is actually going to take place. Initially, let's say ODOT, Oklahoma Department of Transportation, says we're going to be putting in a highway. They'll put in design survey tickets as part of that to move poles, do all that stuff to get everything moved and done.
It's going to be a clear area.
Yeah, so they can know where the highway can go.
Okay.
And then when they are ready to start building the highway, then they're going to start calling in road.
Okay. And I have a question now that we're talking ticketing.
Yeah.
Survey and pre-excavation location requests, they're kind of slightly similar, or
they are similar, but they're for different purposes. So pre-excavation meeting requests are going to be a larger complex project, and when it is a large complex project, you can only request online, and it's to get all the operators together and say, hey, we're going to be working in Tulsa for the next 6 months or whatever the case may be, and we're doing this project. We want the city of Tulsa, ONG, AT&T.
Talking about projects that's going to take longer than
more than 90 days, more than a mile, larger complicated projects, so they can get everybody on schedule. We can go, yeah, we're going to be working in these 5 miles for the next 30 months.
Expect those quality requesting location.
How can we improve the communication? And so all of that is a newer ticket type that just went into play in November of 2024. It's new. So
I'm glad that we're bringing it up.
Yeah, the design survey ticket. That's the one that has been around for a while. It's just a non-excavation ticket. It's for people who are a smaller project. I'm trying to figure out where to put the pool, where to put that pond, where to put that shed. Is there something on one property? Throw out some pink flags or give me some mapping just so I can know what to do on a smaller project. And then I can call in that excavation ticket running next. So
pre-excavation, so that was non-excavation as well.
Yeah.
But the pre-excavation ticket is also non-excavation ticket.
Exactly. Yeah.
All of them are
just one free stuff. Yeah, it's pre-excavation.
Pre-activity.
Yeah, pre-digging. Just one is a bigger project.
Just to make it clear, it's pre-digging.
Pre-digging, but one's a bigger project than the other. That's a good way to look at it.
It was possible.
That. I feel like you changed up my quiz on me.
So, no. Just now that we're talking about painted flags, I had that in my head for a little bit. With math presentation, I was like, I'm gonna ask him about survey and pre-excavation. They're kind of similar because it's can't excavate, but
it's the size of the project and how much time you need to communicate. So good question. So that's one. The pink might be used. There you go. To bring it back. So when it comes to the colors, let's knock them out. Let's say how well you do. And we're going to go quick. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you a color. And then I want you to give me the type of utility it represents. And then, for a bonus question, name one operator who provides
okay.
I think you can do that.
I think I can.
But if you can't, you just let me know.
No,
I'm right here.
Do like Forrest Gump, like, hey.
Yeah.
But ain't stupid.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so let's start with red. What does red represent?
Electricity.
Electricity. Who's your electric company at the house?
Or Genie.
There you go. That's how easy this is going to be. All right. So obviously, red's going to mark electric lines so that we know what to do around those. If it is yellow, what is it representing?
Communications. No, sorry.
Ooh, you are so confident.
No, it's gas. No.
See me shake my head.
Hey,
Luis.
I was genuinely like, I think I was thinking of, oh, God, I think you're going to ask for orange. No. Oh, that was on me. I'll take
Oh, yeah.
the blame. Ding. Yellow is gas.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah.
Or 1G, or go natural gas.
Exactly. There you go. So,
I think it's funny because we just talked about
yeah.
the picture of our board.
Yeah. It's all gas. It's all gas. Like, I know you know this. Yeah. But yeah, so there's gas as well. Then the next color we're going to talk about, kind of hinted at it, is orange. What does orange represent?
Communication.
Right.
Cards or things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Internet, television, all that stuff. So AT&T, communication.
From their games.
Yeah, you can watch Thunder Game. You can watch our podcast. You can do all that stuff. So we've knocked out electricity. We've knocked out gas. We've knocked out telecom. This one, to me, is the easiest one. What does blue represent?
So we're having that really stuff.
Yes, it is
Water.
I was like, whiskey? No, I'm kidding.
I'm water.
No, it's water. Yeah, so water is always going to be blue. And so for me, I live in Oklahoma City, so Oklahoma City provides my water. Who's your water? I live in Oklahoma City.
Yukon.
Okay, so Yukon water probably?
Yeah.
Very cool. So whoever provides your water, they're going to come out and mark it with blue paint so you can dig safely around it. Let's see, what have we not talked about? What about green? Yep, that's sewer. Yeah, exactly. Dirty water. Right? Yeah. So blue is clean water. Green is dirty water. It's going to be sewer. Usually your municipality is the one who's going to be taking care of that. And then there's purple. It's not used a lot in Oklahoma. So if you don't know a company that does purple, it's okay. I'll help you out with that. You remember what purple does?
Yeah, I remember our presentation. I had it in the tip of my mouth. The irrigation? No.
Yeah, irrigation and reclaimed water.
Reclaimed water, yeah.
So purple is used a lot. It's used mostly with like commercial agriculture.
Yeah.
And so like these big, huge farms where they have their big, huge irrigation systems, they're going to go mark that stuff because they don't want to interrupt their crop water.
I don't know why I almost forgot about it.
It's not brought up a lot, and people don't see it a lot.
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen pink.
Yeah. We live in the city, right? And so when we're driving around, we're not going to see those big agricultural farms with tons of purple everywhere. But when we're up like near Enid and some of the agricultural places, you can see private farms who've joined us as members who will go out and mark their irrigation systems just to be safe. There's even some homeowner associations who joined us. They're not required to by law because they aren't a utility that makes money off of their stuff.
Okay.
But HOA still chooses to join us because they want to make sure their water supply is taken care of. So really cool stuff. Let me make sure I run the colors. Which one am I creating?
The what?
That's what we started with, right?
The sun?
Yeah, right lining. Which is
research.
Exactly. So yeah, we did white. Then we went in the well, I guess I recap. I was like, well, we should know about white lining, but
no, I mean, yeah. Oh, we're talking in the beginning.
Yeah. And then we did all the colors.
So I got too long. Well, not too slightly.
Yeah,
but I was able to fix it quick.
Yeah. I'll give you a pass.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, see, now yellow, you see it a lot in the
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yellow flash shit all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, natural gas is going to be everywhere. And then, of course, we're an oil and gas company, or state, sorry.
Yeah.
So go to Cushing and the whole city's yellow, right? But yeah, no, you did great, dude. Now we'll hopefully be able to record next Friday. I want to be out of town. So we'll be able to get together. We need to get ready for the next safety days coming up.
Yeah. And Altus, that'll be a little drive. And it'll be, what I saw, like 2.5 hours down.
Oh, by the way, listeners, I have to admit something. I've been driving everywhere for so long. Luis is taking on the responsibility of chauffeuring me around, and I have to admit I kind of like So
no, I mean, I enjoy driving. Yeah, as long as I have my coffee and I mean, if you have somebody to talk to, listen to music.
Yeah, no, it was
all
good. I do appreciate that. So we have the safety days coming up. If you can join us, Altus is next, ATIS shortly after that. Tulsa is going to be in August. We're still finalizing the agenda for the Spanish safety day. So I'm looking forward to all of these things. And so check out our website, excavationsafety.com, to check out all of that stuff and see where you can see us live. And if you are interested in partnering up with us for some other training or need something for your crews, again, email us education@ok811.org so that we can see where we can collaborate. If I'm able to be there in person, I'm happy to, but if nothing else, we'll jump on a Teams call and answer all your questions and help your crews out, because your safety is why we do this. And so we want to just say thank you for tuning in once again and everything you do to keep up on the safe.
So until next time.
See you.